what you've created, is it a painkiller or is it a vitamin?
Okay.
Right? And so if it's a painkiller, people will pay for it.
You stumbled across, effective execution. Or you mentioned effective execution as a core ingredient of. You have to be impatient and learn a lot and pivot. So I'm going to jump to the next thing, which is, when we're building software, I'm pretty convinced that software is one of the greatest inventions. Apart from law, probably software is the second most important invention in the history of mankind, because it can do the job like millions of times faster and probably thousands of times cheaper. And that's kind of the core definition of business optimization, isn't it? So to our audience here, or probably people elsewhere, because we're going to be taking part of that, if you allow us, Danielle, and publish it on social media as micro content.
Absolutely.
So how important is it to start selling the product even at an early stage? Like, say I'm running this software and it's not really pretty mature, but how important is it for me not to just dump money into it and like blow cash, but also to try to test to sell this, to see if this is actually a real market fit. Does that necessarily mean that I have to go and sell it first and probably bring in some cash instead of burning some investor cash? Correct. So what is your thought on this, being an owner of a company yourself?
I've had the good fortune to work in great companies like Cisco and Microsoft, building software products for them and selling it, right? I would say, I think Mark Anderson said this, right? The most important thing is product market fit, and which is what we talked about earlier, right? But I think it's important in the beginning to find out what you've created. Is it a painkiller or is it a vitamin?
Okay.
Right? And so if it's a painkiller, people will pay for it. Right? If it's a vitamin, then it's optional. So only if you sell things, you will know that what is the level of intensity with which your customer really wants the product or service. That means you really solved the problem. So I just, I'm answering the question indirectly, but I'll say you want to create painkillers, because that's what customers really want, and the vitamins won't be as effective. And selling it is the surest way to do it. But I won't rush trying to sell it first, right? First, try to find product market fit. Even if you get 10 or 20 customers who really find this to be a painkiller, there are 100,000 people behind it who will be similar. So you don't have to rush selling it. First, find product market fit, then sell it to make sure that it's really a painkiller, not a vitamin, and then scale it. Hopefully that helps, Wadi.